Hummusla, could you explain how you use down forward 1 for pressure and how to cancel the backsway? Certainly. So, I would say it's most useful at the wall to be utilizing this type of strat. But first, let's just break down how to do it. So, okay. So, got them set to block. So, I mean, the most basic part of the input, down forward 1, back, does this big backsway, right? In which you can cancel into all the different backsway moves. Alright, everybody knows this. So in order to cancel the backsway, you're going to sidestep into the background by tapping up. So it's down forward 1, back, up. And you can do that very early on in the backsway. You can see I can almost make it look like he's not backswaying at all. Cut it off very early. So that's the first step. It's just canceling the backsway by tapping up. And you can mess with all these different timings. You can do it very late in the backsway. You can do a big long sidestep or cancel the sidestep right away. So now, once you've canceled with the sidestep, you can do the down forward 1 again, which is a very common thing, like loop the pressure. You can also go straight into a sidestep attack, like sidestep 3. You can go into any normal attack now that you've canceled with the sidestep. So I could go into cortical forward 3. I could go into hammer the gods. I could jab, grab. It's really all the possibilities you want once you have just that DF1 back up. But like I was saying, I think it's most valuable at the wall because they're in range to just be locked in to repeated DF1s. So that's where it's particularly useful. Anyway, I hope that was some useful information. How to practice changing your timing with Jack? That's a big question. First off, you have to have some concept for yourself of like what exactly timing means. A simple example is just like when you attack in reference to when another attack has just happened. So a very simple example would be like setting up your own first attack, like a jab, and then thinking about, when do I attack off of the jab? Do I attack right away? Alright. Or do I wait like a second? Or do I fill that like stagger in the timing with like movement? Like, do I dash first? Or do I sidestep first? Right? If you just take that very simple example to start and think about all of the different timings that are possible just after throwing out the jab. Right? Different timings in reference to the jab. That can be a great starting point in thinking about, like, how can I change my timing with regards to various situations. So now you flip that around and you start thinking about when you're attacking in reference to your opponent attacking you. Not in reference to your own attack, but in reference to them doing something to you. And then you again start thinking about the different possibilities of how you can respond right away, or hesitate for a moment, or stagger that timing with movement first, or maybe just not responding at all and just continuing to do nothing is another possibility for how to change and how to throw them off. What's up, Rejected Kapari? Do you lab every move? It's not necessary to lab every move. You know, I think it's a good idea to know everything that's punishable, or most of the moves that are punishable. You know, moves that are safe and you can't really do anything about them, like when you block them. Those you're more so just looking to understand the situation after it's blocked, or know if you can step it or not. But pro players definitely don't know like every single solution to every move. They just build an understanding of how to not get hit by like the most dangerous options, and how to capitalize on the options from the opponent that involve taking risks. So you don't need to know absolutely everything. In a sense, it's like actually a downside to get like too academic about the game and just be like obsessing over finding a solution to every move, because it's something of a hindrance in competitive play to want to solve every single thing the opponent is throwing at you. You need to be efficient and selective about what you try to solve in a competitive match. So it's all a long-winded way of saying, no, you don't have to know everything, but you need to be very efficient and know important things. And I guess if you're early on in learning the game, you're probably not gonna know much of the difference between what's a super important thing to know how to like punish in a competitive environment, and you know what's less important. So as you're learning the game, you should really just be curious about everything. Anything you see that's like, oh, that's giving me trouble, or what is that move? Anything that sparks your curiosity, you should really investigate it and try to learn what's going on. That is like the proper spirit, I think, of learning the game when you're new. Use the replay and tip feature. That is so good in this game. You learn so much. If you just take an L, boot up the replay, watch it, you will acquire so much knowledge so quickly. But the thing with that, like, just because you acquire knowledge in Tekken, don't expect to be able to put that knowledge like into action like right away. It might take a few days or a few weeks or even a few months for you to take something new that you learned and really like implement a solution effectively and fluently. Don't be in a hurry, is what I'm saying. Benjamin Lee. Let's go, bro. You guys new to Tekken just got ripped. It was a Jin who every round spammed down forward 2. 10 times in a row. Couldn't do anything. Swipe, dash, EWGF, repeat. Felt trapped. How do I deal with it? I play Lee. Elvin, you want to send me the replay? I will watch it for you.
I got an 830 res at Dorsey.
I will try to uncover the secret.
Sea urchin ceviche.
Gabby J. Let's look at a replay or two. Joey, thanks for the YouTube videos. Trying out Paul. I feel like he's great to learn Tekken fundamentals with. I am loving Paul in Tekken 8 right now. Thank you, Uza. I'll upload some more stuff this week. What if you're in your 30s and time is running out to learn this game? Time is not running out. Well, I mean, it's running out for us all. But never too late to learn. And more importantly, just have fun, meaningful experiences playing this cool game. You're not a beginner, you're a fighter. Which game do you think I should look at? Just any of them? This one. Alright. Let's see what this guy's doing to you. It's probably throwing the book at you. Probably throwing the move list on you. You're just trying to figure out what's going on. Round 4. All right, I will focus on round 4. I want to see what's going on at the beginning. It's a fighter rank Tekken. Okay. Heat engage. Okay, getting him off of you with the heat burst. I like that. All right, so right away, like at this level of play, you really just like want to be looking for patterns. Like you're not gonna know exactly what these moves are or what's going on, but the quicker you can identify moves that they're using repeatedly, then you can really like hone in on that move and use that as like the centerpiece of the learning experience. So if you see like the way he opened, the move he opened with this move that the game is telling us you can duck and punish. And then roughly 10 seconds later, the exact same move is going to come out. And if he's done a move twice in a span of 10 seconds, then at this level, over the course of the whole match, he's probably going to average using that move like 6 to 7 times per round. Probably. That's what I'm guessing. So there's that move again. That was the same move right there. So maybe like third time, I'll show you what you can do to deal with that. But what did he do? Okay, so he's got heat active. There's that swipe that was giving you trouble. Oh shit. Bro. There's the swipe. Okay. Let's figure out what to do about that. Okay, so we're about to get cornered. All of round 4 was that. Okay. Yeah, why is his heat gauge not going down when he's just swiping the hell out of our boy Don here? That's not a heat burning move. So right away, so I see that it's a mid into a high. Okay, so that's that's the main takeaway about this. He sets it up with a mid, and then it goes into a high. Right. So there's a gap for you to get through that. Now, at your level, you're probably not going to be comfortable like ducking the high perfectly and launching. So what might be more valuable is to just you take this opportunity to learn what kind of moves in particular you have with Lee that can be used to defeat high attacks easily. So the one that immediately comes to mind that I think you want to get familiar with is this move, is down 3. So I don't know if it'll work here, but it does. So I can go underneath it just with this, and then I can get my offense started, hopefully. That is maybe something you can do. Yeah, the more advanced thing would be to duck this high and get comfortable doing this. I don't know if that's something that you've tried at all in practice mode. This little combo you do while standing 2-3 into forward 3. So it's like 2 different ways for you to look at it, I guess. You can start expanding your repertoire of like what moves just beat highs. Down 3 beats highs. Or you can try to get comfortable with ducking highs and punishing them with while standing 2-3. But let's see how this continues going. Okay. Third time, right, there's that move back 1-2. So this is another good one to take a look at. because we were just talking about, whoops, punishing highs, right? So here's another opportunity for you to do this. Oops. So he's going to continue using this move many times as you fight him. Oops. Right. Just another example, like, there are thousands of moves in the game that you can do this to, so you might as well start, like, getting comfortable doing this. Like, you're not gonna just know as you fight, like, oh, that's a mid-high, that's a mid-high, but it's a really good, like, fundamental thing for you to learn early, like, in your fighting game journey. The idea of, like, ducking highs and punishing with that while standing 2-3 combo. So we'll probably, once he gets into heat, that's when he's gonna try to get going now with that sequence, I imagine. The mid swipe into the high swipe. So I'll take over here and see if I can do something about it. Oh, he just burned it right away, so okay. He burned his heat smash, so he doesn't have heat anymore. These are all highs. There's that string again. But so I'm like, you were asking, like, how do I beat that swipe thing that he keeps doing, like, in this 4th round? So that's why I'm commenting on this from this, like, defensive mindset of, like, here's something you can duck, here's something you can punish with. But at this level, taking, like, a defensive problem-solving mindset like this, it's not gonna be the most, like, effective thing to put into action. You know, if I were trying to give you advice on, like, how to rank up, I would be teaching you, like, cheesy sequences that are just gonna run people over, right? So I'm just critiquing it this way because you were asking me, like, how do I beat that? Like, I was just getting rolled by this one sequence, like the swipes over and over again. So that's sort of why I'm coming at it from this angle, but just wanted to clarify that. So there's the mid into the high, right? And this is just what you gotta do. But I got, maybe this is an easier answer for you, just mash 4. Or Lee has this power crush. Maybe this is a much more accessible answer, something that would be more appropriate for the level that you're playing at. Just get comfortable using back 3+4. So you can turn the momentum with this and get on the offensive. Now you've got heat out there. You can hit people with your heat smash, right? The great thing about this replay feature is you can just go find that situation and just try out all different stuff of what you could have done. But even with using this replay feature, if you're new, I think there's a learning curve to it of just being comfortable, like, punching in the right spot and repeating the situation over and over again and trying to do different solutions. Even using this to get better, there's a learning curve to it, but just get into this mode and do it. It will help you a lot. Anakin, what's good, bro? Coach Joey is in effect.
Take it to the bridge.
You were asking, like, is a Mishima thing to step left? That is a thing. Against Jin, I think it's like a little backwards. You wanna go right. Like, you can see right here. If I go left, I'm just getting popped by his electric, but if you go right, it avoids it. But My best advice for you, if you're getting rolled by these repetitive sequences, get comfortable using back 3+4. Lee's Power Crush. Lee's Power Crush has been changed in this game. It used to be a very punishable mid, and now it's actually a safe high. So I think that's actually a pretty good change. Generally at this level, that's going to be a much safer option. Do Power Crush for now, but practice ducking highs. Yes, that while standing 2-3 into forward 3 is a bit of a tricky combo, but it's something that you can practice, and it's really good damage. Could just be an interesting thing for you to throw out as you're playing, but yeah, I definitely recommend the Power Crush. You can see here there's a lot of different solutions that a high-level player might seek to implement if somebody were just spamming this on them. But yeah, the Power Crush, and practice ducking and punishing highs. Hopefully that's helpful. This replay feature is so cool, man. The fact that I can pull up the replay and just try stuff without trying to, like, manufacture the situation in practice mode. It's so crazy. Learn things right. Don't go for cheap tricks that build your game on a janky foundation. I mean, I agree with that, but not everybody is gonna have the patience for that. Some people just want to rank up. I think you can find a healthy middle ground of, like, arming yourself with some of those high firepower, cheesy sequences, while also understanding that they have limitations and that they should not be the foundation of your game. Because, I mean, cheese, quote unquote, is part of Tekken. Definitely got to be able to just cheese people out. What should I learn first as a tryhard to learn foundation? Should I lab every character? The first important thing is that you're just, like, curious about the game. So, like, you have this curiosity to come to practice mode and, like, hit this button where it says move list. And you go to all techniques and you just start, like, looking at these moves. Like, what does this do? And you look at the animation and how much damage it does and what's happening, and maybe just having that excitement of, like, damn, this looks sick. You just knee him in the face? Like, that's tight. And then you kind of have this, like, you know, I want to hit people with this move. And you just bring it to the field. Try to hit people with this. You see where it's good and where it has its limitations, and you just have this curiosity with your own character. I think that's so important for a beginner.
Holy shit, man, you got to get on that.
You know, like this move. Bomb. But if you're a bit beyond what I'm talking about here, learning combos to me is, like, the first big thing. It, like, makes the biggest difference in separating players in the earlier phases. Like, if one player can do big damage combos and another cannot, it's gonna be a lopsided fight. I know basics of my character, different punishment combos. Good. So, man, I really think the replay feature just makes life, like, so easy. So easy for people, like, learning this game. You just pull up the replay and you can just break down one by one everything you're being hit with and find the solution to it. But practice mode's still a necessary step as well to investigate with a bit more detail. There's lots of different ways to think about getting information in this game. Like, it is just insane how many moves are here. And yeah, again, you definitely don't have to learn every single one of them, but one good way to think about it is find the moves that have the highest potential for reward, while also still being common moves that people throw out. Try to like filter through those two requirements. Like, do I stand to gain a lot by making a play on X move? And also, is X move still pretty common? So like, this is an obvious one. You know, Jin players are going to throw out 2-4, and sometimes they're going to put it in the wrong spot, and there's a launch opportunity here. You know, you're like looking for these types of moves in the move list, where you stand to gain a lot, but that move is still likely to come out at various points of the match. Typically, like, any move that's pretty good while also being a duckable string, those are great to know, because they're gonna toss these moves out, and if you make the play on it, it's full launch. So duckable strings, in my opinion, are a great thing to focus on. Punishment, and yeah, so Wayne is saying like this mode is like really, really good, actually. It'll tell me what to punish with right before they do it. This is like the easy mode. This is so good. Like, if you're learning the game, super underrated. If you just cycle through this a few times, you're gonna learn a ton. I'm learning right now.
Got to get on that.
I'm learning so much. No. Anyway, yeah, the punishment training is really good. Foamy Loaf, thank you for that kind message. Yeah, I did a stream with Brian F where I taught him some things with Paul Phoenix, like to help him rank up. And I think he just posted the video yesterday, and it came out really good. I had a lot of fun watching it. What I like about the hit indicator is it allows you to like still practice punishing lows. In some cases unseeable lows. Whereas when you're using the normal punishment training, the lows are just gonna hit you all day. What Tekken did you get elite level? So I started playing in tournaments in Tekken 5. I would say I first like noticed that I was starting to get like pretty good in Tag 2. Like I would go to a tournament and like be able to make top 8, or maybe even if it was a good day, like into the top 4. Like I wouldn't win, but I'm saying like kind of more larger scale tournaments, like regional size events in the United States. That started happening in like Tag 2. And I was like, huh, I'm able to do pretty good, and people like seem to think like when they run into me in bracket, like, oh shit, I could lose to this guy. So it was around Tag 2 that I felt like I was getting pretty good. And then in Tekken 7, before the game came out on console, so the game was out like in the arcades in Korea and Japan, but it wasn't out on console yet in the United States. And I went to this tournament in Atlanta called Final Round, and I won against Saint, and I won my set in winter semis versus JDCR. And that seemed to be like kind of a big moment for me as a player of like good enough to beat top international talent. I didn't end up winning that tournament. JDCR won that tournament, but that was a good moment for me to be like, if I pushed harder, I could get even better than this. I could get really good because I'm good enough now that I can like threaten top people. So took a very, very long time, but I also started Tekken really young, and there were periods where I was not playing very much, just focused on other things. But as I got into my early 20s, I noticed I was starting to get pretty good. Anyway, this the in-game punishment training is quite good. I agree with Wayne. Strongly recommend. What are good heat mix-ups for Paul? So, after you hit this, you're like crazy plus. You have a ton of advantage. So, if you want to just ball out, just do this the classic way. Just dash in on him, Death Fist, or dash in on him, Demo Man. Like, that's real simple. If you're not feeling like rocking out with the normal Demo Man, you could just burn your Heat Smash right away. And that's not a lot of risk. Also, I like going for this. This catches people. Does a ton of damage. That's quarter circle forward 3+4 into guaranteed Death Fist. And other simple things are like forward 1+2 if you want to keep advantage. Back 4 if you want to keep advantage off the low. And it's also a very good opportunity to just throw them. A lot of possibilities. How'd you get information on how to get good at Tekken 5 times? YouTube guide? YouTube was not a thing back then, no. I used to go to this forum called tekkenzaibatsu.com. Anybody who wanted to get good at Tekken had an account on Tekken Zaibatsu. And you would just go on the boards and you'd post your combos and all your little findings, and then people would post theirs and you would share your tech. And people would post videos from the arcades. Horrible quality on these handheld camcorders. And if anybody could get footage from like the Japanese arcades, that was like a big deal. Like, oh shit, tech from Japan. Those were the real days. No pro player guides, no nothing. It was the Wild West. How many frames do you have to break chest bump throw? Feels like you have less frames than other 2 throws. Nah, it's the same frames as all the other ones. It's just, I don't know. Something about Paul. Something about Paul's throw game makes it real hard to tech. Were you always good, Joey? Nah. Nah. Some days I'm still not good. But I have my moments. Now, you guys want to know what my strat looked like the first ever tournament I played? I'll tell you what my game plan was when I entered my first tournament in like January of 2005. I picked Brian. And I did a whole bunch of this. I was like, this does hella damage. Bop, bop, bop. Damn, look at that. Rip their life bar up. I did this one too. So a whole bunch of damage. Get him with this. And And so these were off of highs. So I was like, I gotta have my mids. So I had some of this going, right? Got the low and got the mid. And then this shit is a launcher, so I had to get that out there. Did a little bit of the Tekken 5 combo, looked a little something like that. So, you know, I got my highs. I got my mids. I need a low at this point, so, I mean, you know what I'm doing for low, right? We're gonna get him with this shit. The combo looked a little something like that back in Tekken 5 days. And, yeah, I hopped on the sticks and I went to town doing this stuff. And I went 0-2 real quick. And I could not understand why they kept blocking my snake edge. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? They guess right every time. And I went 2 and out. I lost to my boy Shin Joker, who you might see in the chat from time to time. I think he eliminated me. Either he sent me to losers or eliminated me. And yeah, he made quick work of me. And I remember being mad salty. I was like 12 or 13, and I was just like, what the? I just got cooked.
Brisbane, Australia.
And some of the stronger players in Buffalo saw that I had potential, and they saw how passionate I was about Tekken. And they like, keep coming out the arcades, man. Like, keep playing. There's a lot of potential. And my buddy Brian started like hosting sessions. I would always like go to the arcades and to sessions with my older brother. My brother's about 4.5 years older than me, so he was the one looking out for me. And yeah, I just kept going to the arcades, playing a lot, and I would say like within about 2 years of grinding like that, it seemed like I was the strongest player in my city, in Buffalo. About around the time I got to be like 15. So, yeah, I got absolutely washed my first tournament. So, we all start somewhere, and you see where my mindset was at. But even just that game plan that I concocted, there's a logic to it. Like, fast highs. Like, strong mids and lows. And, like, I could just start refining that. Like, okay, you don't have to do this whole string. Like, what if you just do this? What if you just do this? You know, what if instead of doing the snake edge, you just do this? And I figured that stuff out just by sticking with it and like trial and error. And that, like right there, that's a good game plan. Do this, do some lows, do a little this. This was a launcher in Tekken 5, so I was good to go with that. And then I quickly realized how good throws were. Oops. Oh, that's not 4-4-1+2 anymore. So I was throwing people a lot.
Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Do I work full time? So Tekken is my full time thing right now. I coach a lot of people throughout the week, and stream and enter tournaments and have a sponsor and just have to do a lot of different things to get by as a Tekken player. But there have been periods where I was working. There were periods where I was working part-time and doing Tekken. There were periods where I was full-time student, working part-time and doing Tekken. There was about a year where I was working full-time and doing Tekken. Like, I've gone through lots of different phases. But right now, Tekken is my full-time thing. Do I think Tekken 5 is the best ever? I mean, Tekken 5.0 is a hell of a broken game. It is insane the stuff that is in Tekken 5. The original console release Tekken 5. I will say there's never been a Tekken that I was more excited to go to the store and buy. But I think a big part of that was just the fact that I was a kid. It was like that childlike, like Christmas morning kind of excitement, even though it was in January. It's like, oh my god, Tekken 5 is out. Gotta go to the store first thing in the morning, get a copy of Tekken 5, and I just played the hell out of that game. So, it's like, it was the most exciting Tekken for me. That said, I was pretty damn excited to get this game when it came out. As it stands right now, I would say Tekken 5 and Tekken 7 are my favorite Tekkens. Probably Tekken 7 is my favorite. But maybe I'll end up liking this one the best.